Now, these four illusions are myths, so to speak, possible myths that we have in our minds that keep us from having clarity, that keep us from seeing what is actually true for us in our own lives. The first illusion that we have is the fear illusion. Our fears haunt us to such a degree that they can paralyze us. And there's two fear illusions that we carry. The one is the fear to succeed, the fear of actually doing something, the fear of our potential. And the other one is the fear of failure. We all know that we all have a fear of failure. Both of those fears get in the way from our ability to fulfill our desires, or even sometimes to see our true desires, to see our core desires. So you have the fear that things might go right and the fear that things might go wrong. And these fears get in our way. The second illusion is the guilt illusion. Now, guilt is a big thing that gets in our way and actually makes us small. It reduces us, it diminishes us, it lowers your self-worth and makes you want to become other than who you really are. Many of us carry guilt and shame, and a lot of us are not even aware that we carry it, and we're not even aware of where it came from, because a lot of times guilt and shame are small little things, actions or inactions that we did in the past that affect us. And these guilt and shames just hang around us like a big cloud, and they get in the way of us being truly fulfilled. For a large part of my life, I felt guilty about things that I didn't even know I did, that I couldn't have even possibly have done. And I didn't understand why I was carrying guilt and shame in my life. So if there is something that you feel guilty about, that you've done or you haven't done, and you've suppressed it and carry it deep down inside of you, it's wise to get it out, acknowledge it, and eliminate that guilt so that you're actually free of it. You know, there's a saying that goes, the truth shall set you free. It's important sometimes to acknowledge certain things and let go of the guilt, forgive, whatever you need in order to just let that burden out so your heart can feel lighter. Because it is our essence to be light and joyful rather than heavy and burdened. So guilt is a big thing that creates a screen that inhibits you from seeing reality and seeing what's absolutely true and allowing you to have desires. The third one is the belief illusion. We have beliefs that we carry around. These beliefs are actually myths that we carry around from the beginning of our lives or from many parts in our lives. And essentially it is all the shoulds. I should be doing this, or I have to be doing that. When we are having conversations of shoulds and have tos, you're basically looking at anybody else and asking them, how do I live my life? How should I be living this? What should I be doing? What do I have to do? Instead of truly looking at what do I desire? What do I love to be doing? What's going to bring me the greatest fulfillment? But we run around burdened by the beliefs that we should behave a particular way, we should do things in a particular way, be in relationships and have friendships with particular kinds of people, and we close ourselves off from so much more that's actually available to us. So the shoulds and have tos and these beliefs that are actually false beliefs most of the time are in our way. The fourth one is something that scientists are starting to acknowledge right now, and especially in the area of genetic science. And this is what I call the genetic illusion. And it's actually not an illusion, it's a reality. Our genetics that originate from our past impact our future, impact our current lives and our future. How does that work? Well, essentially, if there's something unresolved in a parent or a grandparent, and essentially can go up to 7 generations back, according to research, it gets passed down on a genetic level to us, and through our circumstances and particular actions that we take and the way we live our lives, our genes start to express that same behavior that was suppressed before. So we might carry guilt and shame and have certain tendencies that happened generations before us. And as a result of these tendencies, we start to behave outside of our own character. We start to behave in ways that isn't right for us, that isn't constructive to the life that we want to live. We get shifted off track and we live someone else's life instead of our own. So this genetic illusion is a big one. It's quite difficult to get in there and identify, but there are methods and processes to get to these genetic patterns, heal them. And the beauty is that when you heal your own patterns, you might be at the same time resolving genetic patterns that originate from the past. And that heals all the way up to your past and actually heals the future as well. I know of people whose grandchildren are very different to what they could have turned out to be as a result of them having done their own healing work. And it's absolutely fulfilling. So those are the 4 illusions, and there are particular ways to deal with these illusions. And what I've done, I haven't put it all in this video because it is a process to go through to start to identify and clear out some of these illusions that get in the way of us seeing our true and most important desires. So what I've done is I've created a little mini course that takes you through a short little process. It's a very short process to identifying what's potentially in your way, what's hindering you seeing the right direction in your life and where you really want to go, and which of these beliefs could be limiting you per se. So if you're interested in that, you can click on the link and gain access to this course. It'll come in a few days. Now, what I want you to do after this video is sit down and have a look at what is the ideal life that you would want to have lived. So when you get to the end of your life, we can't change the past, but you can change your future. So when you get to the end of your life, when you get to 20, 30, 100 years from now, when you decide you're ending your life, that's it, you've had a great time, and you look back, what is the life you truly wanted to have lived? And what I recommend you do is sit down and really get present, connect to something you're grateful for. Have a look at in your life, what are you grateful for right now? Because once you access gratitude, you're able to much easier see from a state of presence. So have a look at what are you grateful for, and then start writing down what kind of life would you want to live from now onwards. And that's part of the process, part of the components of getting you to the ideal life that you truly want.